In honor of Canada's current cold front we're getting, with my current temperature being -14, the lowest I've seen in my city, a spicy -25, and the low yesterday for my friends in Edmonton, -42, all degrees Celsius. Let's talk about frostbite, because we love that. Now, there are not going to be any pictures of frostbite in this video because I don't want my video to be taken down. Google at your own discretion. Frostbite is what happens when your skin and the rest of your tissues get so cold that it starts to freeze. And that is not good because your cells have an optimal temperature that they operate at. They don't like it too warm and they don't like it too cold. So when the temperature becomes too much for your cells, bad things start to happen, namely your cells start to die. So frostbite symptoms can start happening anytime that the kind of ambient temperature around your body reaches below freezing. So in Celsius, that is around below 0, and in Fahrenheit, that is around below 32. So frostbite always starts in the extremities, so like the nose, the ears, the fingers, and toes, because your body, when it feels itself getting too cold, it will stop blood flow and like stop heat from going to the farthest away parts of your body in order to protect the more central and more important parts like your brain and your organs, because you need your organs more than you need your fingers. So that's where kind of the most symptoms start, in the extremities. So the earlier symptoms of frostbite are almost always just totally fine. If they will not be any lasting damage if you get yourself warmed up fast enough. Kind of the starting symptoms involve being cold, like your fingers and stuff being like, hey, this is really cold, which is why it's very important to wear gloves and thick warm socks and boots. Then there will be a sensation of kind of tingling, pins and needles, all that, followed by numbness. And then later on, more noticeable symptoms will be discoloration of the skin. That's kind of the most noticeable symptom of frostbite, and it can turn a bunch of different colors depending on the severity of the frostbite and also the skin color of the person getting frostbite. So again, depending on severity and skin color, the color of the frostbitten areas can be anything from red to super pale to like ashy to purple to kind of yellowish to grayish. It really depends, but anything other than your normal skin color is probably frostbite. Now again, the earlier ones where it's just like a little bit red or just a little pale should be fine as long as you get warmed up, but anything more severe is a little worrying. Following stages include kind of hard and waxy looking skin as the cells start to literally freeze, and in the later stages you can also notice kind of loss of function and feeling, so not being able to move your fingers as well, if at all, as well as not feeling anything when you try to touch stuff. Now I'm mentioning fingers because this is kind of the most common one, but this is in all affected extremities such as nose, ears, toes, etc. But most largely noticed is in fingers and stuff. As the severity of frostbite progresses, you lose more and more of the extremity function, as well as it takes a more extreme color difference, usually tending towards turning a lot darker in like the dark gray, the purple, and eventually brown and black. Again, usually frostbite can be reversed or prevented in early stages by re-warming up, so putting on gloves, getting like warming up your fingers. But in some of the more severe cases, when you warm up your affected areas, it may cause pretty severe blistering and stuff. That's because there's quite a lot of damage to your skin and other tissues like muscles and ligaments and all that. So in very severe cases, after warming it up, it can actually be quite damaged. And in very severe cases, this will lead to skin necrosis, which is massive, unplanned dying off of your cells, which, if left untreated, will possibly cause you to get infected and go septic. which, as we know from previous videos, is not good. You really don't want necrosis because it is literally your cells and tissues rotting on your body while you are still alive. Not ideal. When tissue turns necrotic, that means that there is no hope of saving it, so the only way to stop the spread and deal with this is amputation. So in the more severe cases, if there is quite a lot of tissue damage, the only way to treat and to deal with that is to cut it off. So yeah, frostbite, very much not a good time. So especially if you're living in places with super, super cold weather, like we are right now in Canada. Fun fact, Canada had the top 10 coldest places in the entire world. We were colder than both the North and the South Pole, so I love that for us. I think Edmonton was up there in the top couple coldest places. So if you're living somewhere where you have winter and have really cold winters, make sure you wear gloves, you protect your nose, you protect your ears, you protect your toes, everything, because you don't want them to be cut off.